Do 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 ba 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 baby. I don't know if anyone's here. I don't know if anyone's here, but I'm here now. And I'm trying to set up OBS as I'm actively here. What's up? There's so much stuff. Hello, OMG, the King is live. Yes, I am. Every time it takes me so long to figure out how the hell to get this chat up that I don't see you people. But we're good to go. Ooh, I've broken my screen. My screen is just full glitch right now. Why is this so hard, man? It's gotta be user error. I can now only see the chat, which is, to be fair, the main thing one must see, but is not helpful. What the fuck? We're gonna be back to our live in a second, my friends. Okay, I might just not be able to see chat this time. This is insane. Ooh, we fixed it. Okay. What has happened to the wall? The wall is new, my friends. The wall is new. We are killing it. We got such a better wall. It's so nice. It brings me straight up joy. We also have a bit of a better camera. But if you're on Patreon, you've seen the first video with the wall. And if you're not on Patreon, then you'll see the first video with the wall on Monday. Do. What the fuck again? Oh my lord. I'm so sorry. This is hell. Oh. Famous Spider-Man villain, The Wall. My favorite thing. Yay for Monday. Yay for Monday indeed. Everyone loves a Monday, right? That's like the famous thing about our society. We all love Mondays. Oh my god, guys. OBS is dying on me right now. Oh my. OBS does not know how to function. Oh, we have 65 people here, and this thing is saying it's lagging. Nobody loves a Monday. I'm pretty sure everyone loves a Monday. I think you're wrong about that, friends. I think you're wrong about that. I swear to ever-loving Christ. There we go. Finally. Oh, how hard was that? Anyway, I hope you are all having a wonderful Friday. How are you enjoying Teen Titans so far? I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. The first few episodes, I think, are a little rough. I was kind of like, oh, this is a children's show, and I gotta find things to say about it. But the more recent episodes have been more fun. I do think that I don't care so much about the serious plot. I like all the one-offs. I like Cyborg's episode. I like the Raven Mindscape episode. I like the Puppet episode that just came out. These kind of things are my preferred episodes. Whenever they get to like the real plot, I'm like, oh yeah, this is happening. Do. Teen Titans only gets better and better. I can't wait to see it. Can I change? Here, this might screw up the entirety of this video. I don't actually know if it will or not. But like, can I actively go and change the bitrate? Apparently, yes, but it didn't help at all. Is it lagging for you guys? It's telling me that I have a warning on my live. I need my OBS to work. It worked so well when I first got this new computer, and I was kind of like, wow, look at me. Constantly, always able to go live, no problems. And look what happened. I heard there was a new wall and needed to come and see. Thank you. It is. Look, it's so nice. I love it so much. I got to figure out some of the reflection issues. But like, look, you can see all my stuff. It's a lot of the same stuff, but also different stuff. My plaque is in the middle. My Hellfire invitations, Gambit, the one thing I ever got from San Diego Comic-Con, X-Men 97, Reservoir Dogs script, Toad, Kraven's Last Hunt, cool-ass alien poster, my little tiny pirate ship I made on live once. I gotta make the rest of it soon. Even this thing. YouTube sent me this, which was very sweet of them. And I stole this from a press event because I liked it. I stole like 3, actually. And if you see this from said press event, no, you didn't. And this, my grandmother gave me when she went somewhere, and I kept for years because it reminded me of Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. And upon further review, I think it is literally Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's even got like the monkey and the hat plumage. I don't know what this is, but I think it might genuinely be Barbossa. And yeah. Wow. I have a question. Are there lawyers in Atlantis? Like, can you get sued for using the name Aquaman in DC? I don't know if you can get sued in universe, but you can definitely get sued out of universe. I don't see any lag. Let's go. Have you started reading more DC stories since you began Teen Titans? Very briefly. I read all of Martian Manhunter, or Absolute Martian Manhunter. I am signed up to read all of Etrigan the Demon when it comes out, and I want to read the old Teen Titans series. However, now I'm also starting a new project to read every X-Men book published in the 90s before 97, and that's like 800 books. So it's going to be the majority of my life for the foreseeable future. I'm liking the wall setup. Thank you. Don't I look so professional? It's so fun. What if I call my character Aqua Spaceman or Aqua Dash Man? They will get you. They will get you so hard. 800, yeah, there's a lot of fucking books published in the 90s. Well, first of all, it's 10 years, right? And you space that out across like 7 or 8 different titles. They published a lot of books. What's your favorite Namor era? I guess when he's like fucking around with the Fantastic Four. That or the Phoenix 5. I read Jason Aaron's most recent run. That was good too. How long does it take to get through an X-Men book? For me, it depends. Anything before the year 2000, or anything, yeah, before the year 2000, it's like good like 5 to 10 minutes, honestly, I'd say. Maybe longer. No, more than 5. Like 10 to 30 minutes, depending. Because it's probably like 2 minutes a page, and that's like, what, 40 minutes? Because there's a lot of text back in the day. But then they made this like switch to where it's all dialogue, no thought bubbles, and all of the dialogue is like 2 sentences. And I can cut through a book that was published post 2000 in like 5 minutes. I think that one is like you flip, 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 done. Do you read novels or just comics, dude? Usually, reading, I just do comics. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. The even spacing between stuff hanging on the wall is very nicely done. Thank you for saying that, because that was a huge issue. I got on Photoshop and I measured every single thing out exactly, and then I tried so hard to keep the measurements accurate for this one. It was difficult. I'm also terrified of literally any of it falling because I finally put my shit in frames, which means they're all heavier, and those ones up there are glass. So if that falls, it knocks that down, which knocks all of this down, which breaks that, which is just going to be terrible. So here's hoping nothing falls. It's not like I live in earthquake country or anything. I've tried reading 60s Stan Lee comics, and yeah, it's rough. Well, yeah, 60s comics have an extra issue in which they are bad. But I'd say the peak is like 80s to early 90s. And those are meaty, especially X-Men comics, because Claremont can write. He loves to just like basically write an entire 8x12 page of text, eventually broken up by a single face, and you're like, well, I guess this counts as a comic book. The three hanging comics under the larger image is very aesthetically pleasing. Thank you. That's actually, the middle one is a poster for Hundreds of Beavers. Besides the new ongoing Echica, do you plan to read any more of him? Maybe. I might go back in the dude. You're a rock star, dude. Love your content. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Hope all is going well. Continues to get better in 2026. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, honestly. Would the Epic Collection of X-Men book be good for me? I don't know anything about you, but maybe. If you like that. Favorite Teen Titans villain so far? Mondo, and it's not particularly close. Of the episodes that have been published, I will say there's another character that is in the next two Teen Titans episodes that I really like, that I think anyone who's been watching my X-Men reactions knows I really like. And yeah, I'm editing that one right now to go up on Patreon on Monday and go on YouTube next Friday. And I like him the most. But Mondo, of the ones that have been published. 101 concurrent videos! Let's go! Do. I'm gonna miss staring at the Gambit poster whenever you do a bit in a reaction. He's right there. He's more on screen in the videos, to be fair. It's not quite this framing. It might be going forward. The thing is, I take down the set every single... Like, this is my phone. You know? So, like, I have to take everything down when I'm done. And so that's why nothing ever looks quite the same the next day. I'm sure you've noticed my camera quality isn't the best video to video. I've given up. I had a fancy camera. I've given up entirely on using it. It looks worse than the phone. I might buy a new fancy camera. Can you give us a hint on who it might be? If you know what the next two episodes are, then you should know who it is. And also, other hint, if you know one of my favorite X-Men villains, he's very similar. Why do you take everything down instead of keeping it decorated? No, I keep the wall up. Sorry. Not to be confusing. I take the lights and the camera down. That's why the framing's different in every video. Because I don't have like a designated, like, it's not like I'm just turning on the camera at the same angle every time. You started consuming DC Comics recently-ish. Is there anything tone-wise so far that you prefer over Marvel? I mean, I've always read Batman, and I think Batman I like tone-wise. But other than that, the tones aren't that different, honestly. What X-Men animated series has your favorite art style? Rank them. Ooh, that's hard. Probably, honestly, art, purely art. Weirdly, I think Hulk versus Wolverine. It's not a series, but I think that one had my favorite art style so far. And then 97, and then Wolverine and the X-Men, and then Evolution, and then the animated series. I've yet to see the anime, and I definitely... Is it an X-Men villain you notably cosplayed? It is. But, what's the saying? Right. I think... I haven't seen the anime, but that might get on there eventually. That will be the next thing I react to after Wolverine and the X-Men. Also, guys, next week, we get to the halfway point of Wolverine and the X-Men. How sad. Of the whole series. Are there any other series that you would like to bring back but can't because they didn't get enough views or other reasons? Yes, all my other series. It's not so much views, it's time. But like, I liked the comic book deep dives. I loved the Blue Curtain Project, and I loved Rejects. But they all took me like a month and a half to make, and that just is not maintainable if this is going to be my job. So my goal in 2026 is to eventually get an editor who can handle the reaction videos, and then I can solely focus on putting out the more longer video essay types. But we shall see. Has anything major been spoiled for you in X-Men, Teen Titans, or are you still fully blind? I'm pretty blind, to be honest. Teen Titans, I knew one big twist that comes up in the next 2 episodes. And that got spoiled for me just because, again, I'm an X-Men fan, and one of my first videos ever on this app was about Eric the Red. But, yeah. Other than that, I don't know the real trajectory of either, and I don't know where Wolverine and the X-Men's going, which is driving me insane, because I know I watched this show, but I don't remember, how it ends. I don't actually know what Magneto's up to, and it's bothering the fuck out of me. So as of right now, which young X-Men team do you feel is most akin to Teen Titans? That's a genius question. I think as of right now, it's got to be New Mutants, just because there's only 5 of them, and they're buddies. But what's weird is they're not buddies. Honestly, what it's giving is Generation X, I think. Because it is 5 random kids who had to be around each other, and they don't always seem to like each other. They're still getting to know one another. This episode with the body swap was when Star and Raven started liking each other, and last episode was when Beast Boy and Raven started liking each other. So, I'd say Generation X. Please bring back Blue Curtain Project. Your hoodwinked videos were my favorites. I want to. The Blue Curtain Project, I want to do really bad. I would ideally, my dream in terms of content creation is to have the reaction videos be Monday and Friday, and Wednesday alternate between a comic video, essay, and a movie video essay. That would be wonderful. Out of the Teen Titans, who is your favorite so far? Raven, and then Starfire, and then honestly a pretty big gap, and then Cyborg, Beast Boy, Robin. I used to have Robin over Beast Boy, but I don't know. He's just not doing a lot for me. I'm currently reading all of the Marvel 2099 books. Is X-Men 2099 worth the read? I'll tell you, I never thought it was, because I haven't read it. Oh, just you waiting, technically, the first episode is in the last season. Have fun with that. Oh, I know. I've learned from people commenting that a lot of people have only watched the show in rerun and have no idea what the order is, because the amount of people who told me that I should have started with the episode where they met and I had to be yo, that's in season 4, was insane. Still, every time I post a video, people are I don't know what order you're watching this in. Guys, the only thing in question was that they flipped season 1 and 3 in the release order versus the production order. That is the only thing. Everything else has been the order of the show. And every time I post, someone's what a weird order you're going in. No, you just watch the show differently. Do you know about the Teen Titans opening song? If it's in Japanese, it's more comical and lighthearted. I did know this. I had it backwards for a while. That makes more sense. I'm making a presentation of the biology of how many mutations could actually exist or work in some way. Any mutants you want on it, all we have currently is Kurt. I think any of the body mutations you'd have an easier way. Someone like Maggot, someone whose stuff is their body. Otherwise, what do you do? You can't mutate to control the weather, Blind Wave watching in chronological order, season 5 episode first. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know who that is, but if another person reacted to Teen Titans, probably. You getting sick? If so, I hope you feel better. I've been sick since November. I went to see my family for Thanksgiving, and I've had a cold since. And I eventually, at first I didn't film because I was oh, I'm sick, I'll get over it. But I've been sick so long, I just had to start filming and shit. Have you seen the X-Men Doomsday trailer? If so, what do you think? I think it looks fun. I'm still very cautious about this movie. iBoy episode when? What does that mean? Is there an iBoy episode of Wolverine and the X-Men? Kind of Marvel related, but Young Justice by Peter David is really like X-Men Evolution. That makes sense for Peter David. Have you thought about watching some of the DC animated movies? I've seen them all. I watched the DC AMU when I was in college in its entirety. So that's like my main actual informational data bank for DC. It's why I thought that Raven's gem held her father. Apparently that's just in the movie. What are your top 3 characters you want to see in Marvel Rivals? Paste Pot Pete, Hit Monkey. These are ones that were like announced, but then turned out to be fake, and I got too excited for them. Silver Surfer. They're all probably going to be killed by Doom in the first 5 minutes. Exactly. This is why it's hard for me to get hype. It truly is. I'm just like, there's too many people. There has to be a cop-out because you put too many people in a movie. Unless it's literally going shot by shot and having everyone wave to the camera for 2 hours, I don't know what you're going to do. Which surfer? Norrin Rad. I mean, you can make the girl one Shalabal skin. Or you could do Shalabal and make Norrin Rad a skin. I don't care. Like the Silver Surfer. A naked gray man on a surfboard. Or woman. Naked gray individual on a surfboard. Why do you hate Angel? I don't hate Angel. I find him boring. And they've never actually made him not boring. Have you thought about what an X-Men movie in the MCU should be like in your opinion? I have. I don't know. I really, guys, I've accepted the MCU X-Men is not going to be for me, and that's fine. Please react to Nimona. I've seen Nimona. I love Nimona. Nimona's very good. I should react to like more things, though. I know this about myself. I should react to things that are coming out right now. What if it's a naked golden person on a surfboard? I will begrudgingly accept that. I don't know why, but after Teen Titans, which you have said is in your mind more obviously a kid's show, watch The Owl House because funny. I've never seen The Owl House, so I could do that. But the other thing is I don't want to do any shows that like bigger reactors have done famously. So I also won't do Has Been. Is I'm just like, I don't want to be known as like someone, like I don't want all of my comments to be like, you're like blank, you know? What do you think of the X-Men mutant retcon in the Ultimatum event? I think it's silly. Even though you're optimistic, whatever the official MCU X-Men are introduced, are you still going to give it a chance? Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be there opening night. I got to support the X-Men. I just don't think I will enjoy it. I hate Colossus since we're saying who we're hating. Fair. I've never had to research so much about liver disease because all the physical attributes of Kurt being blue, tail, and his hands, feet, the blue and red fur and yellow eyes keep giving him liver issues. Yeah, I don't think Kurt's going to make sense biologically. What's your favorite non-mutant Marvel character? Probably either Daredevil or Silver Surfer. Those are the two that I like really follow outside of the X-Men. Would you consider doing The Gifted? I have considered doing The Gifted. How much do you know about Shazam and Captain Marvel? Not a ton. I know that he briefly surpassed Superman in popularity and that they had to change his name because of a copyright lawsuit. I like the Teen Titans show, but for me, it's not the definitive teens lineup. I feel like it misses a lot of the essential aspects, like Dick and Wally West being best friends. That's fair. Dick feels the most out of place on this show. The only real connection is with Starfire. I feel like I need to see him chill with some of the other teens. Do do do, ba ba, do do do, ba ba. Trademark is for names. Copyright is not. Whatever. Whatever. Shush. It's miserably cold where I am, and the weather keeps telling me there is snow, but there is no damn snow. That's infuriating. I would sue the weather office. Also, I'm going to have to go below my nose because otherwise I'm not going to be able to breathe. I'm going to do it off camera, And we're all here. I can mute myself too, actually. We're going to go like dead air for like 10 seconds. I have no idea if you could see that in the reflections. I didn't think about it till after. But you know what? It needed to happen. Ah. I think that season 1 has been a pretty good connection. He's a pretty good connection with Cyborg. He doesn't really do anything with Cyborg. He has that one episode that's all about Cyborg leaving the team. And then otherwise doesn't really interact with the man. What's your favorite moment in Star Wars: The Clone Wars? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. That was actually going to be the first thing I reacted to until someone suggested I do Evolution on a live. And then I was like, oh yeah, what if I just did X-Men shows? I didn't know you could react to things you'd seen before. What superpower would you like? I'd like teleportation. I feel like the correct answer is reality warping, but I'd like teleportation. Clone Wars needs a reaction eventually. It's so good. I eventually, again, I hope to react to more than just these things. I'd like to get a Wednesday slot going. But that's also where I plan to put my comic and movie episodes. So maybe I have to post 4 times a week. That's a lot of times. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I want to do everything. I really do. I gotta maybe just like not be so regular, you know? Like not have like Teen Titans every week and just like drop like 3 times a week reactions to 3 things. But I like having a schedule. Portals or Bamfing? Bamfing, for sure. Portals seem like an unnecessary conflict. Really what I want is like Jumper. Has anyone ever seen Jumper? It's like Kurt, but he's powerful. It's like how everyone assumes Kurt works. I like how excited you get about comics. Thank you. Is there any way you'd like to see Indian culture represented by Raven if the writers choose to lean more into that element of her character as a fan artist who's just curious? I cannot think of anything off the top of my head, to be fully honest, but I would like any indication that she's more Indian. It's also like, I have this issue with Indra as well, despite the fact I also just hate his name. Over in the X-Men, there's no like signifiers that he's Indian. They just say he is, and they call him Indra, despite the fact he has nothing to do with Indra. Jumper was an awesome movie. Yes, I liked it. If I want to know more about Emma or Magic, what comic should I check out? Emma, I would say the Dark Phoenix Saga, the original one. Generation X from the 90s, and New X-Men from the 2000s, and Krakoa. Those would be my picks for Emma. Magic, her own miniseries. It's called like Storm and Ileana: Magic or something like that. It's got a weird name because they weren't expecting it to take off so much. But her first original miniseries is one of the best comics Marvel's ever made. It's 4 issues long. It's amazing. New Mutants that she's in, the part she's in. I don't think there's like a handy name for it, but you know, that part. And then honestly, she dies. She comes back evil for a little bit. You really just need, I guess, also Krakoa. You could skip ahead for her. If you had to have a physical superpower, what would it be? Personally, mine would be wings, particularly crow wings. But yeah, if I had to have a physical attribute, a different colored skin. I feel like I'd like to be like green or pink, you know? This one a little weird. What If Magic is also very good. Yes. Honestly, I think Forge's days of being seen as Storm's main love interest is definitely in the past. I think her marriage with Black Panther has had more of an impact. Yes, I'm confused. You seem to be wording this as if it's part of a conversation we're having. But I do agree. I think the fact that Forge was Storm's main love interest for like 3 decades is a fun fact now. T'Challa has completely overpassed him. However, I still don't like that pairing. I think that pairing is very good if you like T'Challa and not as good if you like Storm. It really was about like giving T'Challa a badass wife and not so much giving anything to Storm's story. To the point that they have to like do this very complicated retcon of how she's involved with Wakanda at all. Because her things have always been Egypt and Kenya. But then they have to like, oh, but she met him when she was a kid, and yada yada. And now she's hanging out in Wakanda, not Kenya, not the place she was a god, but, you know, a different place. She's a queen. She doesn't do a ton. I don't like it. I like when Storm's the main character. And I have this beef with like X-Men in general sometimes, when they make her too much of just a supporting character. If she's in a book, it should be her book, in my opinion. Like X-Men Red, they killed it. They nailed it. Storm, she's too high billing, I think. It kind of feels like when they do Superman and Wonder Woman. Exactly. I think that's very fair. But also, I don't like discredit. A lot of people just wanted to see 2 black characters in romance, which is shockingly rare in Marvel and DC. Like, it's just not a thing they do. There's a lot of black characters with white love interest or Asian love interest or, like Forge, indigenous love interest. But there's not a lot of 2 black people dating in Marvel Comics, and I get why people are attracted to that as a concept. I just think the actual stories did not do Storm very much justice. What's your opinion on Damian Wayne? Kind of the exact opposite, I guess. I like Damian as a character. I think in concept, he kind of breaks the idea of Robins, because now that there is a Robin that is Bruce Wayne's biological son, it kind of gives no reason to use the other ones. Evident by like James Gunn skipping right to Damian in the new movies. In the DC AMU, they basically skip right to Damian. Dick gets to be sort of retconned in as Nightwing, and that's fine. But almost everyone else gets killed off. I think they have to make Storm back our character because she's too OP. If she's around, you wonder why she doesn't just solve the problem. It's the same thing with Speeder's Quicksilver. I don't. And the reason I don't think that is because she's the main character for a lot of the books she's in. And I mean no offense to you, but like, this is the kind of rhetoric I think is stupid. I get it a lot whenever I talk about her being relegated to like purely standing behind Xavier in the cartoons. And everyone's like, oh, that's because she's too powerful. She's so powerful, she was the main character of the X-Men for a decade. You can adapt any of those stories. They were good. What's your least favorite X-Men movie, and why is it Origins for screwing up Gambit? No, my least favorite X-Men movie is X-Men Apocalypse. And it's for screwing up, surprise, surprise, Storm, and Gambit, and Apocalypse, and X-Men Apocalypse should have been my favorite movie. I love Apocalypse. I love all of that shit. And they fucked every single aspect of it up. Gotta ask, because you used art from it twice in X-Men thumbnails, I recommend, and the Sentinel. Do you follow Marvel Crisis Protocol or just hate it for artwork? I'm going to be so for real, guys. When it comes to the thumbnails, I Google character name, no background, and I grab it off Google Images. Every now and then I have to go back and check to make sure it's not AI, but other than that, that's all I do. This episode today, when I first posted it, people were telling me it was from an NSFW site, and I was like, oh, my bad. They were fully clothed in the pic I used, but I guess, I don't know, it's from like a webcomic or something. I don't know what everyone thinks. I also don't know why, within minutes of me posting that thumbnail, I got 10 comments of people recognizing the artwork. Y'all are crazy for that. But I changed it because I was like, well, I don't want porn. Having to check if it's AI, dystopia, truly. I hate that Google Images just like throws in AI now. It pisses me off. What's your favorite X-Men movie though? Logan, and then like Days of Future Past for like actual X-Men movie. You have Apocalypse over Dark Phoenix? Yes, I do. I think Dark Phoenix is terrible, but I don't think it's as bad as Apocalypse. I might change my opinion. I'm going to rewatch probably all of them before Doomsday at some point this year. Maybe on Patreon. We'll see. But I'm going to rewatch them all before Doomsday. And I might change my rankings up once I'm a little less pretentious now about comic accuracy. But we'll see. Speaking of Indian, I'm an issue in New Mutant number 66, and it really annoys me when they randomly make Danny Magic the same skin color as Magic. Yeah. I mean, skin color in Marvel has been a notoriously bad, inconsistent for all of the New Mutants. Danny, Beto is white often, which is insane. Forge is eventually... well, to be fair, like, it is a double-sided thing. Because, like, when Forge and Danny first appeared, they were literally red, which is, like, not great. There's, like, magenta. Like, there's a little purple, but, like, come on. Still not great. And so, like, I get wanting to scale it down, but there wasn't a ton of colors to choose from back then. I don't know if they had, like, a brown that was, like, different enough from all the other browns. I don't know how it worked. But these days, they could definitely do it. And sometimes they're getting better. Sometimes they get worse. Storm is also often shown to be like the same skin color as Jean, which is insanity. Are Danny and Magic a couple or just close friends? I can't tell the way people talk about them. Danny and Magic are friends. Danny, it's hard... Both of them are, like, clearly lesbian. Magic might be ace, but, like, they clearly are into women. I don't think either are ever shown to be into each other. Danny has a whole thing with Rain, aka Wolfsbane, and Karma. Ileana pretty much only has a thing with Kitty, but it's a very sizable thing. Yeah. Ileana and Kitty, I think, is the greatest missed opportunity in Marvel Comics. And I think Marvel themselves knows that. There's a beautiful moment right before of... Did I just get an ad for Alive? That happens. That's normal, yes? But there's a beautiful moment before Kitty's wedding where she's like basically... She's on the roof, she's drinking with Ileana, and the way it's drawn, the way it's framed, even... like the essence of what they're saying is basically Ileana being like, you're going to marry the wrong Rasputin. And that's just shit you're going to have to live with. And that's why Kitty, it's not why, but like, it's why, part of the reason why, Kitty doesn't end up marrying Colossus. She doesn't go through with it. And then years later, when they finally, recently, have confirmed that Kitty is bisexual, the first woman she kissed on panel looks hilariously like Magic. It's not Magic. It's a random tattoo artist, but she looks a lot like Magic. And I think Marvel knows they kind of missed this boat. Because you could do it now, but it's not the same now. They should have done it when they had all this chemistry back in the day. But, yes, the other one for Kitty is Betsy. Actually, and Karma, the one that Daddy's got, too. Kitty and Karma, this is canon. Like, genuinely. Karma is a lesbian. She's Marvel's first confirmed lesbian, I'm pretty sure. Go back to my 50 lesbians in Marvel video to find out if that's true or not. But Karma's a lesbian. As an explicitly out lesbian, she befriends Kitty Pryde for real. Like, they were on the X-Men or whatever, but they become better friends while they're both living in Chicago at a bar. And then they become so close that Karma's little siblings that she takes care of refer to Kitty as Aunt Kitty, and they were about to move in with one another until Kitty said that she couldn't, like, do it. And she apologized for, like, leading her on, basically, and was like, I can't be in this relationship with you. I can't move in with you. And then she bailed. That's real. That got published before Kitty ever got canonized as being queer. So... insane. A really good little romance arc there with a tragic ending. But you know who comes and sits at Karma's graduation when Kitty isn't present because there's like an empty chair they reserved for her? Danny Moonstar, because Danny and Karma have a thing as well. But yeah. If Mystique is Nightcrawler's father, why does he look like Azazel? The implication is that Mystique basically replicated the DNA of a bunch of her past lovers, including both Baron Wagner and Azazel, and that's why he looks like Azazel, and also had ties. People forget, Kurt's father, for the majority of his publication history, is Baron Wagner. It's like 50 years of Baron Wagner. In 2005 or something, it became Azazel. When everyone got mad about the Mystique retcon, forgot that Azazel himself was a retcon. So that is meant to explain both of those. But also, like, Mystique just being the dad makes more sense. He doesn't look like Azazel. Azazel looks like him. Because Azazel is like a 40 years younger character that they made explicitly look like Red Nightcrawler. And he's stupid. And he's always broken all of the logic of Nightcrawler the entire time. He was a dumb addition. And I wish we could say none of that happened. But Marvel doesn't work like that. Love Your Pride characters comic series. I'm Transmaster, the trans character comic book was amazing. Well, thank you very much. I didn't even know it was a retcon. Well, that's silly, because I've told you specifically, I think, several times. I don't know if people have asked before, but do you think you'd ever do a React series for Ben 10? Everything's on the table. Again, the issue is like a React series takes like 6 months, you know? Like I'm going to be doing Teen Titans until June. So it's like I got to be a little stingy. I'd love to do all those shows. I'd love to do Ben 10. I'd love to do Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Batman Beyond, Young Justice, Clone Wars. But that's like a slate that would take me to 2035, you know? Do we miss Kurt's fake mom and sister lover? Oh, you mean Amanda and Margali? I do miss Amanda and Margali, yes. Like your new wall, thank you. Yo, brethren, what's up with thee? Not much, my friend, not much. How long have I been live? 42 minutes. 18 minutes left, my friends. Do you know that Ben 10 was originally pitched to be an X-Man? I have heard this. I'm curious how that would have worked, because having a watch is not a mutant power. So would he have just been able to turn into aliens? That would be a fun mutant power. I hate how 2035 is actual date that's approaching and not a sci-fi number. Me too. Who's your favorite leader for the X-Men, and do you think they work better as an individual character, part of a team, or a leader? I think all of the X-Men work better as X-Men. I think it's an ensemble cast at the end of the day. My favorite leader, like field leader, is probably Storm. It's either Storm or Cyclops, depending on the day. Yeah, and I think they both work better as X-Men. I don't need solo X-Men stories. Not in comics, not in movies. Possibly video games. I feel like a video game is a much more intimate art in that you're literally being the person, so I get being solo for that one. But other than that, I do not need it. Mystique and Destiny's wedding was definitely a long time coming, but having heroes attend it kind of took me out of it. They're still horrible people. To be fair, that's the plot of that issue. Like, you have a Knoll literally, like, boycotting and wearing, like, a shirt that's, like, they're still evil or whatever. Like, they address this in the issue. And also, at that time, Mystique and Destiny had been rulers of Krakoa for several years. It's not like they were actively villaining. I mean, they were, because it was a scheme to steal something. But, like, in the law of the world, reformed villains are not a rarity in Marvel Comics. And once they've become foreign dignitaries for the last several years, I think you kind of have to show out. Carol going to Mystique and Dusty's wedding is crazy. Carol's made her peace. She gave Rogue a honeymoon gift of a spaceship. She lent her spaceship to Rogue for a honeymoon, and that is truly insane. Oh, Wolverine has a Rogues Gallery for himself. Yes, well, that will happen anytime anybody has a solo series. That doesn't mean I care. I think Sabretooth is cool. I love Omega Red for the bit. Those are the only ones. Lady Deathstrike started out as an X-Men villain, and I feel like could still just be a normal X-Men villain. She wasn't tied to Weapon X and all that nonsense until the movies. Yeah, Cyber could die in a hole. I don't care. I'm trying to think of other notable Wolverine rogues. Deadpool is taking on a life of his own. And also Sabretooth is an X-Men villain. He's the Marauder. His first introduction to X-Men comics is on the Marauders. He's like the breakout star Marauder. In another world, we could be this obsessed with fucking Harpoon. There's a Guardians of the Galaxy bit about that. Someone gets up in Magneto's face. People are like, chill, he's a diplomat from Earth. Exactly. This might be a hot take, but in terms of futuristic designs for the Sentinels, I actually don't mind the shape-shifting designs from Days of Future Past. They're fine. I do prefer Big Purple Robot Man. Silver Samurai. Silver Samurai does slap. That's a good shout. That's a fair one. I can't think of a single good Silver Samurai story. However, his design is cool. Who's your favorite X-Men rogue? Probably either Apocalypse or the Shadow King. They're so fun. I love them so much. Carol forgiving Rogue, I get because she was young and manipulated, but forgiving the woman who trained her and told her to do that is kind of wild. Yeah, well, Carol's a hero. She's a good person. Also, Mystique is, like, ostensibly better now and, like, relatable. Mystique's not plain evil anymore, and so it's more easy to reconcile with her. Is Spiral connected to Silver Samurai at all? They're definitely in the same book. I've read an arc that has both of them in it. I don't think they have any true formal connection. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole comic because it's very long, but I do think Dick, like, there's two camps when it comes to Dick, and it's that he either it's him and Starfire or it's him and Barb. And there are huge camps for both of those. I don't know why, but I always imagine the High Evolutionary would be a good fit for an X-Men villain. He faces them in somewhat often. He does most notably at Krakoa. He's also tied into the whole like Wanda and Pietro of it all now. So long as Carol kisses Jessica eventually, I don't care who she forgives. Exactly. Let her kiss Jessica. I didn't know who Jessica Drew was when I first was reading like these old X-Men comics. And I was like, who is this like live-in woman that Carol has? Like Carol's just like, everyone's staying with Carol in San Francisco. And she has this live-in wife that is just also there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? Do-do-do-do-do. I feel so confused when I'm scrolling fan art and I can't tell if this is someone insanely passionate of their OCs or a fandom. I don't know. Is it safe to suggest Teen Titans Go? I mean, I don't think... My issue with doing Teen Titans Go as a reaction is that I feel like there's not going to be enough to react to. I feel like not enough happens in those episodes. It's a webtoon. I found it. What are we talking about? Was rewatching Iron Man Armored Adventures, and I forgot an X-Men crossover happened on that show. Oh, that's actually really surprising for when that show came out. That's really crazy. Also, there's 150 people here. Is it just for the wall? Are you all showing out for the wall? I love you all. Sorry, guys. The text is so small. X-Men Evolution, Wolverine is my favorite version. No love, trying all grumpy dad energy, give it to everyone, and the X-23 stuff. He's good. Wolverine is very good in X-Men Evolution. All right. We're doing another nose blow. I have 141 people here. If anyone leaves, I will be mad at you. I think that made it worse. I think I'm worse off now than I was before that. We're at 144. 3 people came in. God, I love you guys. I've got the best fans in the universe. You guys are amazing. Do. The wall. Yes. Oh my god, wait, shit. Is it delayed? We just lost 10 people. Did 9 people leave when I came back and said I loved you guys? Because that's even ruder. Avengers Earth minus Heroes might give you stuff to talk about. There's a lot of obscure deep cut villains that I've never seen in other shows before or after. I know, I used to watch Earth minus Heroes growing up, just flipping through my encyclopedia, my Marvel encyclopedia, trying to find all the characters. It was so fun. 124 now. Okay, so I guess mine is delayed. Mine says 135 still. Is because you're covering part of the wall? Probably. I mean, I'm covering, yeah. But it's a good wall, right? It looks so good. I'm so happy with it. Titan character that you would put on X-Men and vice versa. Ooh. I think Beast Boy fits the most naturally. Raven is just kind of magic in every like reasonable way. But Beast Boy, I think, would fit the most naturally in an X-Men setting. His power is like the specific enough to be a mutant power. Vice versa, an X-Man to join the Titans would have to be a teenager. It'd have to be a teenager who could reasonably not be a mutant, right? Like, I feel like that's the thing. Is like, because even Beast Boy's got like a connection to the Red or whatever. That could reasonably be powered in another way. Kamala Khan is like the cheap out answer. I feel like she would be fun on the Titans. But who's another younger mutant that could go over there? Wolfsbane. I don't know if they need a downer Catholic schoolgirl, but she could fit. Oh, Nikhil, did you know that in the 90s Wolverine series that there's a bit where some old files refer to Subject X-23? I feel like Evo staff must have seen that, and it might be inspired Laura's name. Maybe. 23 is a really random number. I said the Red. I literally said the Red. Whoever pre-typed their correction, get out of here. Those DVDs are games back there. Those are DVDs. There are some games right there. And like, you see, that's Lord of the Rings box set. And then there's games. He did say the Red. Exactly. Isn't 23 like a big symbolic number? It's a big, ridiculous conspiracy theory number, yeah. 23, the 23 rule is like, I think the biggest testament to if you look for things, you will find them. It's like conformity gate, OG. It's funny that the green guy is powered by the red. Yeah, it's very clear that he predates that idea. I know when I think it's the New 52, they tried to make him red and it didn't stick. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Isn't there a Jim Carrey movie where he's fixated on that number? Yes, it's called like the number 23 or something. Nikki, the Inhumans ain't cool when they are written as Marvel Game of Thrones, not replacement X-Men. I could see that. I think if you lean into the fact that they're all kind of fucked up from like a basis standpoint, it'd be more interesting. Do-do-do-do. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-do. Does this comic boy got a little boogie in his soul? No. I can't dance at all. I gotta take lessons for my wedding coming up. I don't like Wolverine being the main leading face of the X-Men because in Wolverine the X-Men he has a quick solo story and immediately scolds someone for doing the exact same fucking thing. I haven't seen him scold somebody, but I think Wolverine is not the leader of the X-Men. I think trying to make Wolverine the leader of the X-Men is faulty every time. He's the fun one. Like, he's like the cool, edgy, like, bad boy that doesn't follow the rules. You don't make him the leader. Of course he's the breakout fan favorite. It'd be like if at the end, in Stranger Things, if Steve Harrington, because he was the fan favorite, just became the main character, and then suddenly everything was about what Steve was up to in his, private basketball career. You don't do that. Sometimes the fan favorite characters are meant to be support. You can barely see Gambit on that back wall. He's fine. He's fine up there. You see the cards, you get the gist. You're fine. Someone did fan art of a champion show the style of Teen Titans and it was so good. That sounds really good. Have you done a trailer breakdown for the Doomsday trailer? No, it's like a minute long. Even I can't do that. There's two things. It's Charles and Magneto talking and Cyclops doing his blast. That's it. Probably not even a minute. What is it, 15 seconds? We can see dupe, so we're happy. Absolutely. You want to see something fun, guys? Look at this. Out of focus, in focus. Out of focus. Out of focus. In focus. Out of focus. How fun is that? Was Gambit's accent always a thing in the books or introduced in other books? He's always Cajun. He's been Cajun since the beginning. His very pronounced accent, I think, varies depending on how much the writer wants to write like that. Sometimes he just speaks normal, Sometimes all the words are just spelled and you can infer the accent in your head. Sometimes there's a lot of apostrophes and shit like that. Him talking in third person comes from the show, though. Besides the ones that have already had a shot at it, who do you think would be a good fit for X-Men leader? I can tell you who canonically is not a good fit, who they tried to make leader in the middle of the 80s, and then he didn't do very good. So they were like, okay, we got to replace you, actually. And that's Nightcrawler. He was not good at it. He was a bad leader. Other than that, they try to make Rogue a leader right now. I also think that's kind of crazy. I think Emma is a leader often, and she's good at it. Who's someone who's not been a leader? Dani is the leader of the New Mutants. I'd love to see her take on the X-Men. I don't know. I feel like all the more leadery types have done it by now. Like Sam's done it. Dani's done it. Cyclops has done it. Fucking Multiple Man has done it. Storm's done it. Jean's done it. Calling these X-Men in the MCU, what do you think of Nikhil Clayton? I'd be fine with that. The X-Men don't have enough swashbuckling energy to match Nightcrawler's freak. It really is, it's a matter of, if you Nightcrawler's not fun if you give him responsibilities, which is part of the reason I think it's so funny they've made him, a sad monk in every adaptation. No, he's supposed to, if you make Nightcrawler think too hard, he becomes sad, and, sad to watch. Nightcrawler's better when he's just vibing. When he's bamfing around, and just having a ball. I like that in the 80s, Wolverine was like, I'm not the guy, I'd prefer to be the advisor. Exactly. He's also Wolverine loves getting told what to do. And he loves being able to deflect that it wasn't him making the rules. His favorite thing to say is I'm not the boss, talk to Storm. Whenever he gets in trouble, he's like, hey, Storm told me to do it, so go handle over there. Nightcrawler being sad isn't fun, but he was sad in Uncanny Spider-Man, and that was fun. I don't think Uncanny Spider-Man was that fun. Did you find that book fun? Like, the general premise of Nightcrawler is wearing a Spider-Man suit sounds fun, but, like, I don't think anything really fun happened in that book. I liked it, but, like, it was a sad time for them. I remember one issue where Scott and Emma reopened the school after Jean was gone, and they psychically faked a Sentinel attack so Emma could check which kids were up for a fight. That's crazy, but it sounds a lot like Emma. I liked Uncanny Spider-Man. Granted, part of that was the Cloak and Dagger appearing. Wow, maybe I just don't remember Uncanny Spider-Man. Cloak and Dagger were in it? I remember Vulture being racist. That's like my main takeaway from Uncanny Spider-Man. Wolverine works as a field leader, and that's about it. Yeah, he can handle it in the field. Alright, guys, it has been over an hour. I think I'm going to take a break, get back to editing my Teen Titans videos for next week. Thank you all for being here. You are wonderful people, and I hope